take this off and turn the audio off on this. I just want to make sure that everything's working. How y'all doing? Welcome. I got a good one tonight. I think so. And it'll probably be short. Sorry, I'm squinting because I have a spotlight on my face, so you guys can see me better tonight. Hopefully, it'll be a little bit sharper image, a little bit better picture quality. Since I do these streams at night, it's usually pretty fuzzy. So I thought I had a spotlight, but it's blinding. So how are y'all doing? Hope you're all good. Hugh, I see you're there. Hey, buddy. Thanks for joining. You're very loyal. Hey, I think you're gonna enjoy this one. I know you've been having issues with your battery, kind of, but I think we figured out you're good to go. Your car seems fine. That last video I watched of you doing the drive to the charger and back, no issues. So I think you're okay. I think your battery's fine. It is odd how it does that if you're just sitting, not doing anything, it drops, but. Yeah, I think you're fine, but you're gonna find this episode interesting about the Ariya's batteries. I've been doing some digging, because I can't get any answers over here. I don't know if they're playing dumb, but they sure are acting dumb, and so I can't get any answers on batteries. So I had to do some research, get online, do some research. I found some stuff. And so I thought I'd talk about that tonight. It's going to be a short one probably, but interesting at none of these. I also want to say thank you to everybody that watched my last video I put up where I went back to the mall and I kind of answered subscribers' questions. I had some subscribers ask me some questions about, seats, rear seats, or like some kind of tray table that will pop out of the dash and stuff. So I went back and checked that out. I didn't please all of them. Like the guy with the table, he still thinks there's a table on like the 91 kilowatt hour version. Maybe there is. I don't know, but so I didn't help him too much. But I think the person with the back seats, about whether they're reclined or not and how far flat do they go, I think I answered their question pretty good. I did a lot. I checked out even underneath the car to see if there's anything I can see. Now it's just they've covered it with a black cover. Found out there are two there's two reservoirs, two cooling reservoirs. So I found out that it does have cooling for the battery. That's a good thing because my dealer was telling me he thinks only the 4-wheel drive version is going to have the cooling and not the 2-wheel drive. But that was a 2-wheel drive I was checking out at the mall, and because they don't have any 4-wheel drives even available right now. So the 2-wheel drive does have cooling as well. And then I just couldn't get any good answers on the battery pack, like anything about the batteries, like what's their chemistry, how are they made, things like that. I know they're different I knew that the battery pack was different than the Leaf's battery pack as far as chemistry and everything, like all that. It was a very different, but I didn't know much about it. I was hoping they could give me answers. They couldn't, so I did some research and I found some stuff out. So I'm going to wait a little longer. It's just you and me right now, Hube. So I'm going to see if I can, hopefully somebody else will be out there soon. And we'll get going on it. Let me go back to the thing. I was saying thanks for watching that last video at the mall where I went back to the mall and answered those questions and stuff. But at the same time, you guys can't see it, but I did get 2 dislikes for that video. And I was like, what? Why? What did I do? I was thinking about it. I was like, and I realized probably they didn't like the fact that I didn't show anything else about the car. And I was like, guys, check my library out. Check my video library out. I have a much better tour of the car in the previous video. This was a follow-up. So anybody disliked my video because they felt like I didn't do a good enough tour of the car, that's because I already did it in a previous video. It's on my live stream. Check it out. My previous live stream, episode 8. I have a very good tour of the car. Yeah, you got to wade through some of my stuff at the beginning. I don't go right into it, but you can scrub through the video. Just scrub to the point where it starts, and you can get a good tour of the car. That's on episode 8. So I don't know. I'm thinking that's why I got dislikes. So some people are like, well, that's how you're showing the car. That's kind of weird. But that's because I already showed the car. Okay, I got one more. Whoever's out there, welcome. Thank you for joining. Maybe it's Old Slow Jim. Who knows? I don't know. But yeah, so that's why I got some dislikes. It was a little irritating, because like it's a 40-minute drive out to that mall from my place, and just to check out seats and a table that might pop out of the dash. And then I got dislikes. Like, what did I do? I did what you guys asked me to. But I think I figured it out. I think it was just the people were confused, and they thought that was weird. That's a weird tour of the car. It was because I already did it in the previous episode. Episode 8 of my live stream. Check it out. And that's a better tour of the car. So, but thank you. I did get a lot of love and support from the last video from all you guys out there. It was just a couple people that disliked the videos. This kind of shocked me at first. But then I realized, I know why. It makes sense. All right. Once again, for you guys just joining, if I'm squinting a lot, I put a spotlight on my face so it'd be better picture quality. And it's blinding the heck out of me. I'm having a hard time just looking at my camera. Hugh asks, how more let's see how more I like the car, even I am not a Nissan fan. I think you're saying, I think I figured it out. Okay, so Hugh, you're saying I've made you, even though you're not a Nissan fan, I've kind of made you like the Ariya. Well, thank you. It's a good looking car. In person, it's very stunning. It's a very nice design. It's not what you expect from Nissan. It is an Infiniti. To me, it doesn't even look like Infiniti. To me, it's more like a Lexus style. To me, it's something you expect from Lexus. It's a very nice styling to it, and a little bit of Japanese to it. They were going for minimalism.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet.
Shut up.
Check your Wi-Fi
Sorry.
network connection by going to settings.
I guess, the name of the car sounds too much like something else out there. It freaked her out. Hang on. Just turn that off. There we go. That should take care of that other thing. Sounds like Ariya. So anyways, thank you. But I think you'll feel better after today's episode. Okay, we got 4 people. Let's get into it. So I was digging into the battery, trying to figure out what's going on with the cooling, as you know from if you watched my last video. And I was a little nervous. I was thinking, oh man, if it has cooling, is it going to be like the EMV where it just cools when the battery's, when you're plugged in charging? And I still don't know for sure, but what I found out, it looks better. It looks like it's going to have a cooling. I don't know about heating, but we'll get into that in a few minutes too. So starting off with this. Nissan unveils 300-mile Ariya electric SUV. This is from Electric online. I like them a lot, use them a lot. And they've actually, back in the day, they used to put some of my videos in their stories, so that was kind of cool. So Electric, they're really good for getting information. So this story is about 300-mile electric. This came out July 15, 2020 with liquid cooled battery. And I was thinking, because I was starting to wonder when I was talking to Nissan, I was getting conflicting reports. Like I said, my dealer was saying, no, the single motor Ariya won't have cooling, liquid cooling. It's going to be like the Leaf. It's only the dual motor is going to have that. He was telling me. It's like, what? I could have sworn I remember the big deal about the Ariya was it was going to be finally a liquid cooled Nissan. And then so I looked up the story, and sure enough, that's what they've been saying. And it's also going to have 130 kilowatt CCS charging, which is true, and it starts at 40,000, which is true. So I think the liquid cooled battery is also true. So we'll go into the story. Scroll down here. So let's see. A decade after the introduction of its Leaf compact EV, Nissan tonight officially unveiled the Ariya electric SUV. The Ariya promises to shake up the EV market with an attractive all-electric crossover, providing up to 300 miles of range with a base model starting at $40,000. Unfortunately, it doesn't go on sale, blah, blah, blah. Okay, now, that 300-mile range is only the single motor, I also found out. The dual motor severely drops the range. So anybody wants that E-Force, really cool acceleration and dual motor, it comes at a cost. It costs of about 60 miles of range. So just keep that in mind. It's also very expensive. That's an $80,000 car probably. So just keep that in mind if you're thinking about getting the four-wheel drive. It's going to cost you dearly in price and in range. So this is where it got confusing to me. So it says it's going to offer two different battery sizes, 63 and 87. It's like, well, wait a minute, 66 and 91. But these are what they've never done this before with the Leaf. And the Leaf, they never said this, but for some reason the Ariya, I don't know why the reporters are now kicking off. They're dropping the part of the battery you don't have access to. You know how on the Leaf and any other car out there, Tesla as well, they block you from the low end and from the high end. You can't overcharge, and you can't go down below a certain amount. It'll lock you out. So that's what. So on it looks like on the 66, they're gonna cut you out from 3 kilowatts. 3 kilowatts of battery are not going to be accessible, so it becomes 63 kilowatt hour. And on 91, it's even more. It's a 4 kilowatts they're going to drop out. You're going to cut out. So you have on the 91, you get only 87 kilowatt hours. Okay, so that's what those mean. Those numbers mean. I want to go down here where to talk about the battery more. All right, here it is. This is interesting. In other words, the single pit stop on a 500-mile trip needs to be fast and better. So what they're talking about is, let me go back up. Sorry. It says here the customer feedback from Leaf users was about how long it takes to go 500 to 800 kilometers, 300 to 500 miles, including charging time. That's the metric. So what they're saying is we wanted to improve that. We wanted to make it a little bit easier for them to take long trips. And so, in other words, a single pit stop it needs to stay cool. Okay. The company will offer the North American and European versions of the Ariya with 130 kilowatt DC quick charging using the CCS standard, which is cool. Nissan said it could add 175 miles of driving range in 30 minutes. The battery cells using an NMC chemistry, which is a little different than the Leafs, will come from CATL, cattle. CATL. Nissan also moved away from the Leaf's pouch cell packaging to prismatic can cells. All right, we're going to get into that a little later. That's a big deal. So who's CATL, right? You're like, well, what does that mean, CATL? Well, let's take a look. Go over to CATL homepage. I thought of everything. So CATL is a company that makes all kinds of... It's like Solyndra, okay? They deal with green energy stuff. So they make batteries. I think they make solar panels and wind turbine stuff, I think. I can go into more detail and I can look it up on the homepage, but let's just stick with this for now. All right. So they're talking about top 5 advantages of using their batteries in electric cars. Ultra-long driving range, continuous innovation energy in the energy density of single cells, battery pack design, and energy system storage, efficiently ensure ultra-long mileage. So that's what they're saying. So electric private vehicle solutions with rapid iterative material innovation, simplified product design, and a constantly improved manufacturing process, CATL has made significant breakthroughs in the system energy density and ultra-long range to facilitate your driving experience. So here's some of their stuff. 5 minutes. High rate fast charging technology combined with intelligent BMS strategy makes it possible to charge a battery to 80% in just 5 minutes. It might be possible, but Nissan's not going to give you that option. It might be possible to battery packs, but Nissan said no. All right. Thanks to advanced 811 nickel-rich chemistry material, silicon doped lithium supplement technology, and innovative cell-to-pack CTP technology, the battery system energy density is improved to 265 watt-hours per kilogram. This enables electric vehicles to have an ultra-long driving mileage and eliminate users' range anxiety. So we're saying up to 1,000 kilometers, depending on the battery pack size, probably. It starts getting a little interesting down here. So, plus or minus 3%. The BMS ensures state of charge estimation inaccuracy within plus or minus 3%, making your travel smart. So, they're saying very low. That's pretty low. How to say? What am I looking for? Because this is what Hugh was dealing with his battery, where his BMS is dropping 7% sometimes, which is sitting. And they're saying they only have a plus or minus 3% flaw, or I don't know, not flaw, error rate on the BMS system. And this part is really cool. The plus 4 degrees centigrade per minute. Okay, this is trippy. The battery can heat itself somehow. Using a unique battery self-heating technology, the battery is able to warm up 4 degrees per minute without additional cost. It only takes 8 minutes to raise the battery temperature from minus 30 degrees centigrade to 0 degrees centigrade. That's crazy. That's crazy. I don't know how they're doing that, but I don't even know if that's safe, but that's kind of cool. You don't even need, that's why I'm thinking the Ariya will not have like what Tesla uses, liquid heating. It's strictly going to be liquid cooling because it looks like the battery can heat itself if they're using these CATL batteries, CATL batteries in their cars. All right, so that's that. Now, let me get into the chat. Let me take a look at the chat. No, okay, everything's fine. All right, nobody said anything. Cool. All right, now, let's get into the batteries themselves, the technology. So Nissan's going to be using CATL company making the batteries, and they're called prismatic batteries, right? And what is a prismatic battery? Well, I'm going to use nerdsmagazine.com, but you can go anywhere. I've checked other sources, and they're all saying the same thing on what a prismatic and cylindrical battery cells are, okay? So it's all the same. All right, so I'm going to read pretty much the whole thing because this is quite interesting. Prismatic and cylindrical cells are the most common choices on the market for creating lithium batteries, both types of cells. Now, prismatic does look a little bit like what Nissan uses in the Leaf, those pouch style, but it's a little different, okay? It is a little bit different than the pouch. Market for creating lithium batteries. Both types of cells have their own advantages and disadvantages for manufacturing daily use. Let's see. Prismatic cells. More and more are using lithium-ion batteries for applications, blah, blah, blah. Specifically, manufacturers using prismatic or pouch cell designs. Now, once again, these are different. Pouch is different. Pouch is Leaf. Prismatic is a little different than that, as they're an excellent way to lessen the weight and cost, optimizing the packaging efficiency at the battery level. So this is the advantage versus cylindrical. Cylindrical batteries, because of their shape, they can't go as dense. They can't be as dense of a battery as prismatic cells can be, and they're just, you're wasting space, especially like in a car, like for a car when you want to put a battery pack on a car with those cylindrical cells, it tends to be a bigger battery pack, just because of the design they are. With this pouch style or the prismatic style, because they look like a pouch and they're flat, you can cram more in, and you can also spread them out. You can put them like all over the place, and like what they do with a computer or with a cell phone anymore. With those flat batteries, they can shape them any shape they want, so they can pretty much pop them anywhere. With the cylindrical cells, you can't do that. You can't make them different shapes and put them anywhere. They have to use like a skateboard design. All right. Here's the advantages and disadvantages. The prismatic cell battery pack was introduced in the 1990s and satisfied the demand for thinner batteries and lower manufacturing costs. Wrapped in fancy packages that look like a small chocolate bar, prismatic cells optimize the use of space via the layered approach. You can predominantly find this prismatic cell on mobile phones with lithium-ion batteries. Also, like Apple computers, they use that prismatic cell, I think. There's no universal shape, as every manufacturer's have their own designs. If the housing of the design only allows a few millimeters extra in a smartphone or a laptop, the manufacturer comes up with a new pack for the sake of higher capacity. Right. Prismatic cells are either encased in aluminum or steel for the purpose of increasing stability. In turn, this creates several key advantages. Because of their unique construction and makeup, these batteries tend to be very thin and light, offering effective use of space. Okay, that's the bonuses. That's some of the bonus stuff of the prismatic cell. Let's keep going. Typically, prismatic cells give engineers flexibility when designing products. This is what I was just talking about. Because of these properties, modern prismatic batteries are also commonly used in bigger cars. Okay, that's pretty much what I said. I was saying, like, with an electric car, because of you can make them any shape you want. Basically, you can cram them anywhere. Any kind of dead space in a car, you can cram anywhere. So you could virtually make it like as many kilowatts as you want without making too much extra, taking up too much extra space in the car, like a cylindrical battery will do. Now, the drawback, though, let's get to the drawbacks of prismatic batteries. Okay, here's the drawbacks. Since prismatic cells consist of many positive and negative electrodes sandwiched together, one of the disadvantages is the higher possibility for inconsistency in short circuits. The higher capacity makes it even difficult for thermal management and protect each cell from overcharging. That's huge. That's hang on. That's not a small problem. That's not a little drawback. That's huge. So what they're saying is the way these things are made, you have a lot higher chance of short circuitry, the things shorting out, possible fire, thermal runaway, overcharging by accident, all kinds of things. It's not the best design really for, personally, what I think, for electric cars. Because people that buy electric cars don't really want to be replacing a battery pack anytime soon. Especially these bigger battery packs. Like Tesla battery pack is like $30,000. You can buy a car for what it costs to replace a battery pack on a Tesla. They're not going to want to be changing batteries, if preferred, if you can get away with it, ever. Right? You really don't want to be changing battery packs on these cars. It costs a fortune. And it almost makes the car almost like a disposable car. You have to, when the battery goes bad, you're better off just replacing it with another car almost, because that's just crazy, right? Let's keep going. Turn this back on so I can read. All right, keep going. The bigger cell size also minimizes the possibility for automation, which leads to a lower degree of consistency. This is not good. So that means, and Nissan used to talk about this too. Nissan used to say about the Leaf batteries is like, they're not all the same. Even though they come off the same assembly line, every battery is different because of the way it works. So that's how batteries work. One battery could be like super great and it might last 10 years. The other battery might be kind of mediocre, only go 3 or 4 years. And so Nissan they always said that we can't make any promises. That's why we have this special warranty for them. Right, and actually they said this before the warranty. This is when they had that big blowout when the first gen first came out, and people in Arizona were finding out their batteries were going bad, and so Nissan was at first they were trying to fight back, and they were saying that every battery pack's different. There's only a few drivers out there in Arizona that are having this problem, not everybody, and so obviously they just unfortunately got a bad battery. It's not our fault. It's just the way it is. It's life. And they were trying to get the guys to eat the cost. And luckily, they changed, they were forced to change their mind, but luckily those guys were able to get new battery packs or whatever, get rid of the car. I don't know what they did exactly, but Nissan had to make good on those batteries. Anyways, they're saying the same thing about these prismatic batteries. Basically, every battery's going to be different. For example, Ian Sampson, he and I got our first Leafs back in 2014, about the same time. He was like a couple months ahead of me. He was not gentle with his battery. He did everything he could because he was like kind of being a beta tester with it. He was doing everything he could to stress that battery out. He would go to zero. He would go to flat. Many times he went flat, just where he had to get a tow or something to get his car home because he would just run it flat. And then you also always charge to 100%, almost always charge to 100%. Granted, it was from his house most of the time because he would do it from his home charger. But he would charge 100% every time, and he'd run it flat. And he was just hard on that battery on purpose. And I appreciate what he did. But my point is my car, you saw how gentle I was. I can count on one hand how many times I charged to 100%. And I did quick charge more often than him, but I used these more gentle, like 20 kilowatt quick chargers, very slow quick chargers. I was very gentle with my battery pack. I would never go below 20%. Most of the time I only charged to 80%, right? Like I said, 5 times, I think. About 5 times I charged 100% with my original Leaf. And I still lost, when the Leaf became 3 years old, I lost a seg already. Like it went down 1 seg on the battery health. His car, when he got rid of it, traded in for, I think it was still 12 segs after all the stuff. So obviously his battery pack was better quality than mine because everyone's different. It's just always different on the assembly line. So that's what we're talking about there. So let's see. Here we go. One of the disadvantages is the higher possibility for inconsistency in short circuits. The higher capacity makes it... I'm sorry, I went back too far, sorry. Big cell size also minimizes the possibility for automation, which leads to a lower degree of consistency. The internal electrodes will easily expand and contract, causing deformation, which may lead to an internal short circuit, meaning it's more prone to swelling, similar to lead batteries. Yikes. Yikes. That doesn't sound good. I'm a little concerned. I don't know how you guys feel about this. Let me check. Are there any new? No. No comments out there? All right. All right. To me, that's a little shocking. But yeah, let's keep going. Cylindrical cells. All right. Compared to their prismatic cells, cylindrical lithium batteries are produced much faster and with lower cost per kilowatt hour. So they're cheaper. So the prismatic batteries, they cost more to produce. They aren't as consistent, meaning it's a crapshoot whether you're going to get a good battery or not. They're more prone to short circuiting, which could cause fire. It could cause like thermal runaway. They're also more prone to overcharging. So I don't know. This isn't just this homepage. All of these I checked. I triple checked to make sure that what I was reading here was true. And every site I went to about batteries and prismatic, talking about prismatic and cylindrical, they're all saying the same thing. It is what it is with these batteries. So cylindricals are already cheaper to produce. Okay. The design of cylindrical cells is in itself can support the different types of automation processes common in factories and their manufacturing environments. The electrodes in cylindrical cells are grouped tightly and encased in a metal casing. This minimizes the breakup of electrode material due to mechanical vibrations, thermal cycling, and mechanical expansion, which means they're more durable. The cylindrical ones are more durable. They can handle stuff better. All right, advantages and disadvantages. Every cylindrical cell is combined in parallel and in series to increase the capacity and voltage of the battery pack. If a cell gets damaged, the effect on the entire pack is low versus prismatic cells. So now they're saying, when I read this earlier, I was like, whoa, I didn't even know that. So the cylindrical cells, if one or two go bad, it shouldn't affect your whole battery pack. Shouldn't. It can. I mean, it depends on how the manufacturer set it up. If it's all in series or they do like groups of parallels and stuff. Usually do groups of parallels. However, like what I was watching an episode of Rich Rebuilds where he helped a man with a Model 3 who had a battery issue, and Tesla said, you have to give us, $30,000 and we'll give you a new battery or something like that. The guy's like, what? Because he bought the car used and it had a bad battery. He didn't know it. Rich got into it, figured out what he needed to do. It just needed a couple cells replaced, a couple of those cylindrical cells. When he replaced them, it made it so the car would be able to charge up completely. Some reason when they were damaged, it wouldn't charge. You hook up to the quick charger, or what do they call them, fast charger. Hook up to the fast charger, and it would only charge up to 50 miles of range, some kind of ridiculous thing like that. So you had to replace 2 cells, and it went back to normal. It's not for every car. Every car battery pack, they're all different, right? But the point they're saying is, though, with prismatic, though, I guess it's always in series. So if one cell goes bad, pretty much the whole battery pack is like bad. This maybe isn't an advantage in a way. Maybe, I don't know. Like Nissan, I've seen through other YouTubers that have owned Nissans and stuff, that Nissan can be sometimes a little bit problematic with trying to get the warranty honored with their batteries. Nissan's pretty strict about what is considered a battery that needs to be serviced. And then remember, they only are obligated to get it up to 80% health again or something like that, whatever. They're not obligated to get back to 100% health if a battery goes bad. With a prismatic battery pack, they might have to just replace the whole battery pack. I don't know. Maybe that's what's going to happen. So maybe maybe in a way it could help out in the future. I don't know. We'll have to see. All right. Let's see. This is because when a prismatic cell gets damaged, it can compromise the whole pack. See, it can compromise the whole pack. Cylindrical cells give off heat and control temperature more easily. That's true too. That's what they're saying. Manufacturers find it easy to produce a cylindrical cell for product uniformity. This means that if a business or supplier cannot deliver for any reason, they can surely find another one that can produce a similar product in terms of dimensions and dimensions. So they're saying, okay, basically they're all basically a very standard format, these cylindrical cells. So if you lose if you lose LG, you can switch over to Panasonic, or you can if Panasonic's not going to work, you can go somewhere else. And there's definitely going to be some manufacturer out there that's going to be making a battery pack. They can make a battery pack close to your specs that you can pop in your car for some reason, or if you need to. Let's see. The technology of cylindrical lithium batteries has been around for a long time, which means that the pack consistency is high. The cost of the packs is also low, making them suitable for mass production. A cylindrical cell battery is particularly convenient to use for its various combinations and suitability for electronic-powered vehicles, like Tesla, for instance. And I'm not endorsing Tesla at all by reading this article, but yeah, Tesla does use cylindrical cells. The drawbacks, however, due to the shape of cylindrical cells, it makes it hard to fully utilize the space in the pack, like I said earlier, leading to lower packing density. Moreover, this type of battery cell is usually packaged in aluminum or steel shells, making them heavy. A cylindrical lithium-ion battery may have already reached its limit in terms of performance and optimism, with its potential being limited for the next generation battery cells. Possibly, but according to Tesla, they've reinvented the cylindrical cell. Time will tell. We haven't seen any, we haven't gotten access to an actual battery pack with a new technology. But if what they're saying is true about the new technology, then no, cylindrical cells are still good to go. So my point is, though, the drawbacks on the cylindrical are not near as bad as the drawbacks on this prismatic cell. So it makes me a little extra nervous about the prismatic cells in the Ariya. Oh, James, wow, you're joining me live. Hey, buddy, thanks for joining me. Appreciate it. How you doing in Scotland? Hope everything's going well. Any questions about what I've said so far? Everybody, yeah, I mean, it's not complicated, so probably we're all good. So any opinions? How about not questions, but opinions? Anybody out there have a differing opinion? I'm a little nervous about these battery packs now in the Ariya. I personally feel like if you don't absolutely have to buy an Ariya, like if you don't need a car, or especially if you don't need a $50,000 electric vehicle, or $40,000 depending where you live, don't buy it. Maybe wait. I know it sucks to say it, because everything else looks so great. It's really comfortable, super roomy, leg room, headroom, width, the trunk. Lots of space, lots of new technology in it. Crazy cool car. Really good range for its price. It outdoes the iPace. It outdoes what was the other one? It's crazy good technology for range and stuff if you buy the single motor. However, we don't know anything about this new battery they're using, and you don't want to buy a car and then have just nothing but issues with the battery pack, because good to hear that you're doing good, James. You don't want to have issues with that. Nissan's proven with the Leaf that they are difficult to deal with when it comes to battery warranty and stuff. They will. I mean, they can be very kind. It just depends on who you're dealing with, right? Some dealers are really good, or just I don't know how to explain it, because it's not just the dealer; it's also the company itself. They have to contact the company, and it's just who you're going to go through. If you get somebody in a good mood or what, I don't know what it is, but some people have no issues going through Nissan when they have battery issues, and Nissan's quick to remedy the situation. Other times, people are just like fighting. It is such an expensive car. I don't know what to say. It's an expensive car, and it's a really nice car. It is really nice. It's got a lot of cool features. It's got over the air. It now will do automatic updates on its firmware and on navigation. It's not going to be like a Tesla where it's going to be like you're going to get a whole new user interface or anything. I don't think so. I don't think it's going to be like a Tesla like that. It's going to be limited to what kind of upgrades they'll put on it, if any. I know Nissan, they don't like giving you upgrades for free. If you want an upgrade, you have to buy a new car. Like if you want the newest and the best ProPilot, you got to get the new car. They're not going to upgrade your ProPilot. I just know that much about Nissan. So it's not quite the same as Tesla, but at least they will update the navigation system for free. If I want to update my Navi and my Leaf or my EMV, I have to pay $100 to get a new chip to pop in my navigation. It's not a chip, but that little SD card thing. Pop it in and it gives me a new map. It's $100 for that thing over here. So James is asking, so has Nissan dropped the ball again? I don't know. I don't know why they went with this battery company. It's just odd. I mean, LG makes really good batteries. Panasonic. I mean, there's tons of really good companies out there, and I've never heard of this company, CATL company, but maybe they're big. They seem to be. See, Hugh says that's why Nissan only do cooling the battery. Right, because according to this company that makes these just prismatic batteries, they're claiming that the batteries, they have some kind of BMS technology where they can make the batteries warm themselves up, which is kind of cool, but boy, it sounds kind of dangerous. That's called thermal runaway. What they're making the batteries do, they're making the batteries go through thermal runaway. That's why it can go up 4 degrees every minute. They say in 8 minutes it can go from minus 30 to 0 degrees in 8 minutes. That's crazy. So it could be dangerous. You could have fires. Wow, this one's faster. I have to look at my phone screen. It's hard to read on the. Let's see. James says they finally get liquid cooling sorted. Forward 1 step, then back 2. So they have went from leading the pack. Oh dear. I don't know. I mean, I don't want to be too quick to judge. Oops, I should not turn that off. I don't want to be too quick to judge and say it's definitely a bad idea. But every web page I checked on talking about the differences between prismatic and cylindrical cells, they're all saying cylindrical cells are the way to go. Prismatics are dangerous, kind of, especially for automobiles. When you're dealing with that many cells packed that way, with that kind of density. I just don't know. I mean, Nissan had a tried and true chemistry, and it was decent in the Leaf. I mean, if they wanted to keep the flat style or the battery pack, why did they stick with the same style, same system they already had with the Nissan, like what they were using in the Nissan Leaf? I mean, those are tried and true. There's not one Leaf out there. I don't think I've ever heard of a Leaf having thermal runaway issues. Also, the Leaf batteries, they're not. It's not consistent. They're pouch style, so they're not consistent. So on the same assembly line, you might have good, bad. Not when I say bad, I don't mean bad, but like density levels. It's not a consistent density level. They're all over the place, kind of on an assembly line, right? But they've been fairly close to the same, right? Not terrible. But this prismatic style seems like it could be worse. I don't know what they were doing. I don't know why. Maybe Nissan liked the fact that they could heat themselves, so Nissan could just focus on cooling and not have to worry about battery management with warming and stuff, because that can get a little, silly. Also, if you can have the batteries warm themselves, and it said you don't lose any energy. You're not using any energy to warm themselves or losing any energy. That makes it more efficient in the wintertime than a Tesla even. Because a Tesla, with that water, they're using warming through liquid warming, and you lose they say about 20% of your range goes down. You lose about 20% of your range on a Tesla in the wintertime. With this battery pack that Nissan's going for, with this prismatic batteries, because they can heat themselves and it uses no energy to heat themselves, technically you don't lose that much range in the wintertime, they're saying, right? Like even these places like in Canada where it's like minus 30, the battery pack will warm itself up. In 8 minutes, it's already up to 0. And then a few more minutes, you're back up to a optimal operating range, is what they're saying. That's insane. I mean, if it works, if it's safe, if they prove it's safe and it doesn't go into thermal runaway, and you have a fire in your garage or something, they prove that they can control it and they can get them warmed up quickly, and then boom, keep them steady at a certain temperature. Then the Nissan is gonna be very. the range degradation in the wintertime is going to be a lot less than a Tesla even. That's a big deal, right? That's a big deal. Let's see. So James asking, is that safe? Doesn't sound very safe, but I don't know. I wouldn't be too confident plugging my car in at night. James saying that. It is a little concerning, right? I mean, the trick is, though, it's not even that. See, it's a BMS system, right? So let's say you want to go for a drive, you want to leave, and it's really cold out. I think I don't know how it worked, but probably if you're, I'm thinking it's when you're driving the car, the batteries are automatically heating up while you're driving the car. You know, if they're at a certain temperature, the BMS is going to let them have a thermal runaway. It's kind of a thermal runaway, right? They're gonna heat themselves up, and the BMS is going to allow that to happen, and they're going to get warmer while you're driving. Tesla does that, but they use a different system for doing it. But they do something similar. It'll heat the batteries before you charge. It'll get ready to heat the batteries up before you charge and stuff like that. So it's better for the battery pack. You don't really want to charge, especially when the battery's really cold. It's not good for the battery. And so Nissan's just doing it a different way. Hugh says, how it warm up? By driving? It sounds like it. It sounds like, yeah, when you're driving, they're gonna heat up while you're driving. And so in a few minutes, the battery pack will be at optimal performance level. You know, your battery pack will, okay, let's say if you're driving a Leaf, everybody knows on a Leaf, it's about 7 segs, right? Your battery temp around 7 segs. That's perfect operating temperature. It's like when you regen, you get the most regen back into the battery at that temperature. Also, charging's the quickest, and it's the safest for the battery. Less damage to the battery than when it's really cold. And so that's what it's going to do. It's going to even in the middle of winter, in a few minutes your battery temperature segs should be up around 6, 7 segs. It sounds like. In theory. Now, I'm going by what CATL is saying about their battery packs. Nissan has never said this about their battery pack, right? Nissan's never mentioned this fact. They've never said that, hey, you're gonna be able to heat up your battery pack in the wintertime and have an optimal performance without any loss of any range degradation. They've never mentioned that. So I don't know if that's even going to be possible. They might block that. Like they're already blocking the 5-minute charging. CATL says their battery packs can handle such powerful charging. You can charge the car to 80% in 5 minutes. But Nissan's blocking that. Like really bad over here in Japan. We only get 90 kilowatts of charging. Over in Europe and stuff, you guys at least get 130, which for the 66 kilowatt hour battery pack, more than enough. 91 is a little low for a 91 kilowatt battery pack, but it'll still do the job. I guess in like 45, 50 minutes you'll be charged up. I guess. So yeah, let's see. Is that working in cold countries? Cold counties? You see county? I think you mean countries. Yeah, I think so. I mean, but like I said, Nissan's never mentioned it, so they might block that. That might not even be on the table with this thing. They're using CATL batteries. We know that much because Electric has told us that. Go back to Electric. Let's see. Ariya article. So right here it says, so the battery cells using NMC chemistry will come from CATL. The company CATL. Now CATL, we just looked at their homepage. That's the only battery pack they offer is that prismatic style battery pack for cars. If you go to their homepage, they offer other things. Nissan also moved away from the least pouch cell packaging to prismatic canned cells. So there's the prismatic. So that's CATL. It is in line with what CATL is saying. CATL says they make prismatic batteries. But once again, we just don't know what Nissan's going to allow. Because to me, that just Nissan out here in the summer. Not sure what that means, Nissan out here in the summer. You don't have to worry about the batteries heating up in the summertime, guys. There's a BMS system. The BMS is going to only allow the batteries to do a thermal heating in the wintertime, obviously. They won't allow it. In the summertime, they'll keep them from doing that. That's the idea. That's what CATL is basically saying. With their BMS system, they have such a unique BMS system with these battery packs that you can do stuff like this. I don't even know if Nissan's going along with that. That's why I'm just saying it's something to be thinking about, okay? Anyways, hang on. Nissan. He's talking about the car. The car's coming in summer. Yeah. I just thought I'd let you guys know because I know some of you guys out there. I've heard from the comments that some of you guys have pre-ordered this thing. It's $500 pre-order, and it's a great car. I mean, I like the car a lot. I personally can't buy that car right now at this point in my life. I can't. But even if I could, the battery makes me a little nervous. I mean, man, when you get close to the car and you sit in it and things like it makes you really want to just ignore all that crap. It's like, screw it, I'll take my chance. Nissan's a good company, because I've had no issues with my EMV and no issues with my Leaf, and I've had 2 Leafs and 2 EMVs, and all 4 of them. My blue EMV is funny. My first Leaf, the silver one, I had the battery started degrading kind of quickly. I still got really good range, but it did lose a seg kind of quickly, considering how careful I was with that battery pack. And then the blue EMV, I was having a lot of just little teeny simple little issues, but they were starting to add up and get on my nerves. Like for example, the passenger side seat heater stopped working. It was going to be like $400 and some bucks to fix that. I was like, no. And then I had the drive on the blue EMV. Keep in mind, these are built in Spain. It's not made in Japan. The EMV, the electric EMVs, or I guess the EMVs aren't made in Japan. So, anyways, the drive shaft, I had it replaced in the blue one, and then the new one was starting to act up again after a while. So, but this white one, these 2 used ones I got, the Leaf, I did, it was 5 years old when I bought it. And it still had 12 segs. And it had, what was it? 1,400 quick charges under its belt when I bought it. And it's just the battery was just way better quality. It's like, bam, it was way better shape than my silver Leaf. And even now, at 7 years of age, it's still 11 segs. Still gets pretty dang good range, except winter range isn't so great, but still does pretty good, and it's really solid. So I don't know, what was my point? I almost lost my train of thought there. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention. It is a brand new battery pack. They're off the res now. With this Ariya, it's ground up completely different than a Leaf, which is a good thing. But there can be bad stuff along with it. That battery is technology that we're not sure how they're going to do it. Are they going to use something? I don't know. We already know they're not going to use that 5-minute quick charging ability. But maybe they'll use the BMS where the battery will be able to heat up to optimal operating possibilities even in the wintertime, and have you always even in wintertime without losing any range, basically, compared to a Tesla. To run with the battery pack, they use that water heating system, and that takes so much energy. It takes 20% of your range away from dry in the wintertime on a Tesla even. And Nissan with this CATL battery, the theory is through CATL is saying, they can warm it up without any loss of energy. So you're not using any electricity to warm the battery up, so your range shouldn't suffer as much, right? Especially if it warms up to optimal operating temperature, which means you would have full regenerative braking like normal, like any other time of the year, and also charging on quick charge would be much faster. I think I'll hold on to my 30 kilowatt Leaf for another year. Yeah, that's what James says. Yeah, yeah. I think so. Give it a year. I mean, I know it sucks. It sucks so bad. Everybody wants to be the new kid on the block with the newest technology and stuff. And that car is beautiful. But, man, guys, it's a pricey purchase. And man, I think that's why it's being delayed. I thought it was because the charging situation. But Europe doesn't have that problem, right? But they wanted to release in Japan before Europe, so I thought maybe that's why, because Japan wasn't ready. We didn't have the quick chargers. And that still could be part of it, but maybe another part is they're like, they're fine-tuning that BMS system. Maybe they found out, oh gosh, we got some flaws in it. I don't know. But prismatic batteries, the cons on them are much worse than the cons on a cylindrical battery. Cylindrical battery cons are you're wasting space, right? Because they're round, so it's harder to. It's just you don't have. There's not space saving. You're wasting space kind of with those battery packs, and they're heavier. Okay, those are kind of bad, but they're not bad like easy to short out. That's huge. If your battery shorts out, short is definitely a fire as far as I'm concerned. Because I studied electronics, and whenever you have a short with high capacity things, that's gonna be a fire. Okay. Also, you're just gonna lose your battery pack, right? The cells are gonna expand over time. That could be an issue. That could be very much an issue. All kinds of things. I got a great example. Hang on, guys. Let me show you something. Oh, ouch. I have an old iPhone 4S, I think it is, and I keep it in this can I got from Costco, a storage can. Looks like an ammunition case, but it's not. And the reason why I do is because it uses a prismatic battery, a pouch style battery. Look what happened. Over time, it's expanded. It's the battery did this. The battery is so old, it has expanded and it's torn the backing right off the phone. That's the issue we have to worry about with the new Ariya. One of the issues. One of the many. Like I said, the Ariya or these prismatic batteries have a lot of issues. I mean, the good thing about them is you can make them more, the battery packs in cars can be much more dense because you got the way they are, you can design them for any shape and size, and you can cram them into any nook and cranny, so you can make a much higher density battery pack. That's a good plus. What was the other one? There was only a couple. The negatives are they're more expensive to produce, they're slower to produce, they're not consistent. Like every battery pack off the assembly line is not going to be the same. I mean, they're going to be all over the place on the density. Easy to short out from movement. Just driving along and all that movement with them shaking and stuff. Easy to short out, and then other issues. So I just want to bring that to your attention. I don't know. I'm not saying don't buy it. Nah, that's not good, right? I'm not saying don't buy it, but I just, it's a lot of money, guys, and it's up to you. Just so you know. But I mean, now that's another thing. Is Nissan's not even doing the 8. I don't think they're doing an 8-year. They're not doing the 8-year warranty on the battery pack anymore. I think it's going to be 5 now. I think, if I remember, I was talking to my dealer about that. I think it's a 5-year warranty. It's not even an 8-year warranty on the battery pack anymore. So something to think about as well. So what is that? 50,000 miles? 5-year, 50,000 mile probably, something like that. Warranty on the battery pack. Something to think about. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do about it because I really like that car too, and I was hoping to buy one used in the future. Like I said, time will tell. Time will tell. If people, people do it all the time with Teslas. People do it all the time with Leafs and stuff. They'll do it with the Ariya. If a lot of people have issues with the Ariya's battery, they'll post videos. There'll be feedback, and just keep your ear to the ground. But if you do buy an Ariya, cool. I mean, that's awesome. And it is a Japanese car company. They do know their stuff. I would not. I just can't believe they would put something in the car that would just caused nothing but issues, especially battery issues for them. They already had a problem back with the first, when like I said, when the first gens first came out, they had a problem and they did not like that. That was left a bad taste in their mouth, I'm sure. And so I'm sure they don't want to go through that again. So it's Nissan, man. They're much more trustworthy than other car companies out there. It's not like Fiat or Renault, even though Renault is connected in Europe and stuff with Nissan. I mean, the Arias I think are being made in Japan right now. I mean, the ones I'm getting over here, well, maybe not, because it's CCS for you guys, so maybe they're being made somewhere else. I didn't even look into that part. That shows a lack of confidence on Nissan's part. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Nissan. I don't know. Maybe they got a really good deal with CATL. I don't know what's going on. Maybe CATL is promising stuff that we don't know about. Like they figured it out. They figured it out, and there's not going to be this problem that other, I've checked, man. You guys, you can do it yourself. Just Google prismatic batteries, and you get a ton of different sites that explain the differences between prismatic and cylindrical and the pros and the cons. It's always the same. They're always saying the same thing. More prone to shorting out, more prone to expanding over time, more prone to this and that, So I just wanted to throw it out there. I'm not anti-Ariya, you know that. But, I'm also not brand loyal either. If I feel like a company is screwed up, Honda, Toyota, Apple, Microsoft, Nissan, Tesla, if any of these companies, any of these tech companies out there that I tend to like, if they do something that looks like a kind of like a Achilles heel to the project, I'm going to point it out. And I feel like I need to point this out. But maybe I'm just being stupid. I don't know. However, I was the first to point out, I don't know if anybody knows this, guys watching today, I don't know if you know this, I was the first one to point out the I don't know what it ended up being called, Rapid Gate with the second gen lease. When I got to test drive the car before most other people did, and when I test drove it and I came back and did a quick charge, I realized how slow it was. I was using the 50 kilowatt charger at Nissan, and in 30 minutes, I only got to 50%, and the battery temp had skyrocketed. It was like way up there, only at 50% battery, and it blew my mind, and that made me nervous about that. But I didn't buy the car, and it was still so early. I didn't get to keep the car much longer to do any more tests, so I wasn't sure. But sure enough, it turned out there was a bit of a problem, and it had to do with their BMS system. Nissan was holding it back. They weren't allowing the car to charge very quickly. It was driving everybody nuts. So they had to update the BMS system on the cars over in Europe at least. And but that probably also meant they had temperature problems, because I saw a guy over here after I did it, when the car was finally being sold over here. A Japanese guy took it on a 400-mile trip. And he said it was just driving at highway speeds, the temperature was skyrocketing. It was driving him crazy trying to charge it, and so there was definitely an issue with that. And so I'm just doing it again with the Ariya. I don't know if I'm right. I could be completely wrong with my fears. Maybe there's nothing to be afraid of with this car, but I'm just throwing it out there for you guys to be at least informed. Informed consent is what I'm going for here. Okay. Yeah, that's all I wanted to say about that. All right. Any other comments? Anybody out there have an opinion about what I'm saying? Am I totally off base? Am I wrong? I mean, I don't know. It's just something when you're making that kind of a purchase, I feel like you need to know all the facts. I don't know. So, anybody out there have anything they want to say? Oh, there is something. Hang on. I'll say James says, why don't they sell the Leaf Nismo over here? They don't have the Nismo Leaf in Europe? I don't know. It is interesting because but you know what? The Nismo Leaf is awful expensive. Japanese tend to like they how to explain it? Japanese are very brand loyal, very brand loyal. You actually have families that are like the only car they'll buy is a certain brand. Like the family across the street, they were Nissan for the longest time when the father was around. When the father was around, everyone had a Nissan. When he passed away, that changed. Now they're whatever brand. My family right now, we're all Nissans, right? My whole house is Nissan. My mother-in-law is Nissan. People tend to be very brand loyal. So when a new model comes out, they have no problem buying it. And they get excited about buying a new model. And so it'll do really well over here. Even a Nismo would do over, even at the price. See, a Nismo Leaf is a 40 kilowatt hour Leaf, but it's the same price as the 62 almost. It's almost the same price as the 62 kilowatt hour Leaf. Why on earth? I just don't understand it. Why would anybody buy it? Because the Nismo Leaf, because they've changed the tuning on it, it has less range than a standard 40, but it's fast, right? But a 62 Leaf it's not the same driving experience. It doesn't have the same suspension. It doesn't have the same seats. It doesn't have the same tuning. So it's not as peppy as the 40, but it has a better top speed than the 40, and it also has better range than the 40. So I don't know why people do it, but that's probably why they didn't try selling it in Europe, because the price would be very close to the E Plus Leaf, the 62 kilowatt Leaf, and I think Europeans wouldn't go for it. They're like, I'd rather have range than that punchy performance. And it's still like, it has punchier performance, but it doesn't feel like a Model S or even a 3, like the Performance Package 3 will just blow a second gen Leaf out of the water. So, I mean, yeah, it's not quite the same. You really seem to like that. Oh, the Ariya? Yeah, I got really excited about it. Yeah, I'm still canceling my truck. There is definitely no way that truck's going to come over here anytime soon. I mean, it's probably going to be under 5-6 years. I kid you not. We're probably looking at 5 years for over here. Maybe the soonest. Maybe the quickest 4 years. I mean, 4 years. How can I plan a vehicle when it's that much of a delay? So it's like, no mas. I can't handle it anymore. I wanted a cheap truck, and that ain't going to happen. Too bad. But it's just the way it is over here. Also, trucks, we have to do a government inspection on them every year. And an EV, for some reason, doesn't get an exemption from that. So I'd have to do what they call a shock and government inspection every year if I owned a truck. And it's like, no thank you. Don't really want that. So they have this, it's funny, these K trucks, I used to be, I love K vehicles, all of them. It's just fascinating. They're the cutest little thing. They look like a regular vehicle, but they're small, like that. And I love the Ks. And they have K trucks. Now the K trucks, I don't usually fit in them. Like, it's really hard to drive. Your knees are like the wheels here, and like driving like that, it's not a comfortable thing. But they've just recently started coming out with extended cab K trucks, so the seat can actually move. Before they have the extended cab, it was just a regular cab. The seat didn't move back and forth. It was your back of your seat was mounted to the wall, to the back of your truck. So you didn't have a seat that could move. But these extended cabs, you can actually move the seat a little bit. I might be able to fit in one of those a little bit better. And the K trucks, they have less tax and all kinds of things. So I might go for a K truck eventually. You can get those used really cheap over here. So I might just go for that eventually. Those are fun. They're really popular in America right now. My other half would want that because it looks cooler. Oh, James says my other half would want that because it looks cooler. Yeah, it looks really nice. It's not just looks. I mean, it is a nice car. They did a good job. Yeah, I know what you meant. I figured it out. But yeah, it is a really nice car. I mean, seriously, you see it in person, it'll blow your mind. They did really good job on all the details. It's just that, they're so secretive. Nissan's so secretive. There might be a really good reason why they're doing this battery pack, and it might be a really good battery pack for it. And I just don't know the whole details, right? So I have to be careful about that. That's why I'm not saying I can't say it's definitely a bad battery pack. They know stuff that I don't know, probably. I'm assuming. Like I said, I can't imagine Nissan saying, we'll take our chances. We don't care. I don't believe that, because Nissan's learned that they don't have the government on their side over in America or Europe. I mean, if there's a problem with the battery pack, it's going to cost them dearly. Japan's a different story. Now, Japan, I don't know if you guys know this, but Japan is, the way the government works over here, it's very much a corporate country. It's all about corporations. And so if they had any issues over here, you'd be hard pressed as a everyday person to be able to sue Nissan and get your battery. It wouldn't happen. It wouldn't happen. They're protected by the government over here, the companies. It's just a corporate world over here. Yeah, time will tell. Time will tell. Okay, guys, I think that's enough for today. I was gonna talk about other things, but I think I did enough. We'll talk about other stuff later. That's something for our next stream. Just want to throw that out to you guys because I think I got a lot of people excited on my last stream, and I felt like I morally had a responsibility to also let you guys know about the battery issues, the possible battery issues. Just thought, because it is an expensive down payment, to lock it in, and it's going to be an expensive car for a lot of people, especially if they go for the four-wheel drive. By the way, the four-wheel drive, you lose a lot of trunk space on the four-wheel drive. I wasn't aware of that, but you do. In fact, I can pop that one up real quick. Well, I think it's in this story. They talk about the trunk space here. No. Yes, it's here. See, they got that wrong. Look at that. Battery capacity got it wrong. 66 and 91. And they're saying 65 and 90. Interesting. Cargo volume. 16.5 cubic feet front wheel drive. 14.6 e-force. That's quite a big difference, really. So you lose space if you have a four-wheel drive model, Ariya. Yeah. Anyways, there you go. I hope you guys got something out of it. I hope you enjoyed my stream. Cheers, James. Another good one. Thanks, James. That's really nice of you to say that. You guys have a good day. Enjoy yourselves. Have a good weekend. And yeah, let me know in the comments. For anybody that's watching after the stream, let me know what you think, what your opinion is about this. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good night.